Hi again folks, how's all doing? Here we go with another in the shed video where I look back at some of the locomotives I've worked on recently that didn't get featured on the channel. Let's have a look. First up is this old Triang Class 81 in a state of disassembly. It was sent to me by George to see if I could get it all back together. This was supposed to be a video on its own, but I accidentally lost some footage. Also, it turned out to be a bit of a noisy runner, as these often are, so I didn't much like the idea of doing a long running session with it, so I decided just to include it in this video. I did quite a bit of work to this. I rewired the switch that toggles the pickup between the pantographs and the wheels. I replaced the wheels on the front bogie and fitted a guitar string pickup. I serviced the motor, remagnetised the magnet, put it all back together, and it works okay, but as I said, it's a tad noisy and a bit stumbly on modern track. Could really do with a new motor and replacement wheels. This old Triang Gente was sent to me by Keith. It was a non-runner, and opening it up it was a bit obvious why. One of the brushes was missing. It had been fitted with a neodymium magnet, which I replaced with an original one and remagnetised it, serviced the motor, disconnected the smoke generator and removed the mechanism, fitted a new brush, and it ran fine. Ian sent me this Hornby B17 Leeds United. It was a non-runner and had damage to the handrails, and the contacts on the drawbar were pretty mangled. The hook was missing from the rear coupling and some of the rods were pretty bent as well. So it needed a bit of sorting out as well as the usual ringfield service. Sometimes fixing bent and broken handrails can be a real fiddle, so yeah, it's fun and games. But all done and it ran okay. This old Hornby Paner tank was sent to me by Alex. This had certainly seen better days. The suppressor was broken, the tyres were loose, the chimney cap was missing, broken steps. I gave the motor a service, remagnetised it, I superglued the tyres, fitted a new suppressor and the chimney cap that I had spare, and it's back up and running. This Hornby King George VI was sent to me by John as it had a blown DCC chip and mangled contacts on the drawbar. I removed the chip and rewired the locomotive for DC running, as John's an analogue bloke. I sorted out the drawbar, checked the gears and pickups, and the locomotive now runs nicely as a DC model. This old Triang 37 was sent to me by Paul. He said he'd pretty much given up on this and had tried getting it repaired a couple of times by other folk to no avail. Whoever had worked on it beforehand hadn't assembled the motor correctly at all, so it really just needed sorting out. But as usual with this motor, the bearings were done and needed replaced. So after fitting new bearings, servicing, remagnetising and reassembly, it ran okay. There was quite a bit of damage to the body as well, and really, to be honest, really this was ready for the bin. But I decided to do some repairs to the body using Milliput, touched it up with a bit of paint and a couple of new decals, really just to show that, it could be brought back and made to run again. Unfortunately, I seem to have accidentally deleted the footage of this running on the layout. I really need to get myself a dedicated camera for making these videos. This Hornby 225 was sent to me by Andy on behalf of his grandson Noah. Basically all this needed was the loose aluminium pinion gear replaced with a brass one. I gave it a service as well, and that was that. Nice easy job. And they also sent me Noah's HST, which wasn't running at all well. Pinion gear was okay in this, all it really needed was a service. So a couple of easy Ringfield jobs. Dan had sent me a job lot of old Lima diesels to do CD motor conversions on using the kits from diesel-trains.co.uk. No real issues to report. These old Limas are pretty bulletproof and they take a CD motor conversion extremely well, as I've demonstrated a few times in the past. Doing them all one after the other was a bit of a grind to do, but the kits are easy to fit and old Lima diesels are very easy to work on and they all now run very nicely. I was particularly taken with the look of this 33. I'm not a fan of weathering unless it's done really well. Maybe it's just me, but the weathering on this looks expertly done and very effective. Whether it was produced like that by Lima or someone's done a nice bit of weathering on it, I'm not sure, but to me this is an example of weathering making a locomotive really look the part, which is not something I would normally say about weathering. Dan also sent me this Hornby U4 as it had a worn drive gear and wasn't running properly. Dan said he couldn't get the body off. and yes, they can be a bit tricky to remove the bodies on these wee O4Os. With this one, 2 screwdrivers pushed on either side at the front and off it pops. I've never replaced the drive gear on one of these before, but luckily I had a couple of spare O4O chassis I could take the gear from. A bit of a clean up and some fresh lubrication and it was soon running again. Some of these wee models run really nicely and some don't. They're a bit crude and toy-like, it has to be said. This one was somewhere in the middle and it runs okay, but you know, a much better motor and better gearing would make these wee models run much better. And finally, this old Hornby Black 5 was sent to me in a state of disassembly by Phil. He wanted me to put a Black 5 together for him from all the bits he sent, and initially I thought this was going to be a straightforward ring fuel service and then put the parts together, but it turned out to be a bit more work than I expected. I had to swap out one of the valve gears, all the insulating bushes on the wheels needed replaced, so I had to re-quarter the wheels and spent a bit of time fiddling with the locomotive to get it running freely. But got there in the end, and Phil will get this Black 5, which seems to run okay. So there we go, that's the other locomotives I've been working on recently. I've had plenty to keep me busy. I'm hoping to get some work done on the layouts pretty soon, in particular fitting backdrops. So hopefully I'll get a layout update video done shortly after that. And I will be doing a workbench tour video pretty soon as well, so keep your eyes out for that. But there's just not enough hours in the day. Just before I go, I plan to be at the Cooper Model Railway exhibition on Saturday this weekend. So if you're going to be there and you see me, please do come up and say hello. Okay folks, catch you later.